Hi, my name's Rob Hudson. I'm a professional relic hunter. I've travelled the globe for the last 20 years, tracking down artefacts that you just never see anywhere else on the planet. There's things like mutated animals and genuine human remains. People around here call me the Indiana Jones and Nuki because I've been collecting, and obviously all the little scrapes I've had with customs and excise and people like that. The swamp monkey. This one is actually not quite what it seems. If you actually look closely, I'll actually show you if I turn it over. You can see it's actually the back end of a white-tailed deer. This would have been his bottom hole, and obviously we put some eyes on the cheeks, or somebody has cleverly. These were invented in about 1920 when Bigfoot and other creatures like that were supposedly roaming the earth. They brought this out, the swamp monkey, and everybody thought it was an actual creature for a long, long time. As you can see, quite cute. First of all, there was medical skulls that were cut at the cranium, and then there were the ones that were uncut, which I liked, so I got those, and then everything. I wanted elongated, mummified, you name it. Whatever was rare, I wanted. Shrunken heads. I don't know if you can see this. They actually used to tie the mouth shut to stop the spirit from escaping. Basically, they used to take the skin off the person's skull to shrink it down. They'd actually cut it all the way up the back here, if you can see behind. And they'd peel the skin off the head. They would boil the skin and then put hot sandstones from under the fire onto the back of the skin. This would scald the skin and start the shrinking process off. It's very similar to tanning the leather. They'd wear it a bit like modern day, sort of how you have bling now. They'd wear the shrunken head around their neck and walk into the village and get worshipped for being probably quite hard or something like that. I'm going to tell you about my penis now. It's just here. It's supposedly cut from a hanged man 250 years ago. There's no girth because the skin's been removed, and there's no length because we think he came from London. This here's Pepsi. She's been with me now, how long? 15 years now. She's a member of the family. I actually bought her from a girlfriend as a Christmas present, and she's devoured most of the house, chewed the skirting boards, windows. When my son plays the PlayStation, she actually snips the wires if she's not getting any attention from him. So he gets upset with her every now and then. I'm going to tell you about one of my adventures now when I lived with the Direct Trophy Hunters. You can see in the photograph behind up here. The actual hut that I lived in at the time had 43 of these Direct Trophy skulls hanging above my head. The skulls were carved, but only if the victim's head was taken while they were still breathing. If the victim was already dead, they just took the skull as a trophy and never carved it. You can see the insignia on the front, which is the two men fighting. They had the same kind of sense of humour as us, even though we were on the western side. I was asking lots of questions like why there was a leg bone up there, and one of the guys said the warrior that fought him had been injured in the leg, so he took the person's leg off to eat the leg, because the spirit of the leg would then make his leg better. They then joked with me later on in the evening, saying that one of the men had trouble with his firstborn, was always a girl, so he ate the other man's testicles of his victim, and therefore he had a son. Yeah, that's meat. Tiger, you're mad. You're eating grasshoppers and crickets. The head? Yuck. I don't always bring skulls back when I come back. This is an old percussion rifle I found in a riverbank in Gambia. I actually passed it on a boat, another one of my madcap adventures where I planned to build a lodge about 200 miles down a river in Gambia to take all the tourists. But that's another story. This was sticking out, the butt was sticking out in the mud there, and bearing in mind there's hippos, crocs, just about everything in there. It took me 5 hours to dig it out bit by bit with a stick, just laying in the water until I got it all the way down. I lost a few bits, there was some clips on it, but I was pretty proud to get it back. And it's one of the old slave trading ones, so it would have been used on the slave trading. So that's pretty cool. Nice piece. People ask me what are the weirdest things that I get sent through the post and stuff like that, because people obviously are sending stuff a lot of the time now, and this has got to be one of the weirdest. I'll quickly show you. It's actually a little alien head here. It's real skin, and we wondered what it was, being ET and all that, and I sent it away for testing, and guess what it came back as? I'll show you. It's a bull's scrotum sac. Nasty little bugger. My pickled nose. Quickly tell you, this was left to me by a friend of mine who passed away. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that somebody cut it off his face. It wasn't actually. It was actually from his collection. So, there you go. Do you want to check for bogies at the back? Okay. It's 7 o'clock in the morning at S Bend, whatever. There's a mosquito. Got it. Look. Cool, huh? The most exciting find I've had. I think it's the one I'm gonna find.